grew up in Colorado,
Yeah.
and both of your parents were educators. So I wanted to know if you could tell me a little bit about your personal story
Sure.
and some of the critical values that your parents were able to instill in you as a child that helped shape who you are today.
It's a great question. How many of you live in this neighborhood?
Woo!
Okay. My neighborhood that I grew up in looks just like this one in Denver, Colorado. And my parents were both teachers. And as I was growing up, one of the things that struck me in coming here, relative to my background was it was the same sort of community that I grew up in that I see here. We had our alderman, we had our city council person, we had our janitor. Everybody focused on our individual success and our collective success. On the weekends, we were all at the YMCA. They tried to teach me to play basketball, but I couldn't do that. So they said, you may want to study and, give up sports. But I didn't just do that. But anyway, I think one of the keys was there was a community that I grew up in that was actually heavily vested in my success and in my brother's success and in our neighborhood success. And when I think about it, during that time, what they wanted to ensure that we had was first the best education that we could get. And I went to all public schools, actually, until I went to Cornell. And I went to the same high school that my father went to. And in that dynamic, I learned that it wasn't a function of the resources, but it was a function of the time that you spent with the resources that you had. And the best resources you had were actually your community, your study partners, your teachers, and the people in the community who had experiences that they could impart into your world and to use as a way to developing your own character, your values, and ultimately your academic achievement and success. And the thing that was interesting, I didn't realize how little we had until I went to college. I actually thought we had everything in the world until I went to college and realized how much other people had. But one thing I realized we did have was a community. And we had a focus on improving ourselves and, frankly, moving our community forward. Those are the things that stick with me today. So every time I have an opportunity to actually infuse that sort of dynamic back into communities, I take that opportunity because I realize if it weren't for the community that I grew up in, I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have today.